30 seconds and counting. 25 seconds and counting. We are still go. 20 seconds. Guidance alert. The guidance system now going internal. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Ignition sequence start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thirty seconds and counting.
Again. Trying again here. Okay, we got audio now. Guys, we apologize for that, folks. Here we are again. So, yeah, it's technical issues or something that always comes up, especially when you're in the field. But I have a very awesome viewer who's acting as my cameraman today. Super happy for that. So once again, welcome to the Angry Astronaut. Very sorry that we ran into these issues, but nevertheless, we are out here at Boca Chica right now, preparing to bring you as much of Starbase as we possibly can. And unlike all the other times that I've ever been out here, since I have somebody acting as my cameraman, we can now do sort of a driving tour of this location without risking people's lives. Number one. Also, cell phone access has improved dramatically out here, meaning that we shouldn't lose connectivity during this tour either. So if we can look straight ahead real quick, again, this is through the window, but oh, yeah, let's go ahead and see where everybody's checking in from real quick. Apologize for that. But where's everybody watching from? Once again, right now, you're just looking through the window, a bit of a smudgy window right now, out at the Starbase facility. There's a lot of new buildings here, lots of new buildings. But where do we have everybody checking in from? Hello, DeLand, Florida. Hello, Angry Broadcasting Studios. Really appreciate it. Drones are significantly restricted out here, very restricted. Hello, Topeka, Kansas, and Four Marks, UK. Hello, Minneapolis and Kent. Hello, Alberta, Canada, and Darby. Hello, Saratoga, New York. Hello, Rhode Island and Indiana. Hello, Earth. Hello, boring part of Virginia. Somerville, South Carolina. La Habra, Southern California. Hello, Mars. Hello, DeLand, Florida. Earth. And hello, we have a Jurassic dinosaur from Dorset checking in as well today. And we have 2 super chats already. By the way, guys, if we can get to a 10 super chat threshold, then I will give away 5 Discord memberships today, and that gives access to all the Patreon exclusive content. We'll give away 5 random memberships. Hello, Cornwall and Sussex, New Jersey. No, actually, Starlink is a very difficult thing to take into the field, especially to take it across the Atlantic with you. I have a Starlink terminal, but it would cost me hundreds of dollars to take it round trip on the airplane. Hello, South Africa. Hello, Cape Cod. Really great to have all you folks with me today in Alabama, Portugal, and Belgium. So time to get going. Time for us to go ahead and start this tour. So we are going to go ahead and roll down the window on the right-hand side of the vehicle, and we are going to, as soon as we have a clear avenue anyway, we are going to begin our journey towards Starbase. Yep, Cybertruck just went by. And here we go. That should, the gimbal should hold it steady. Okay. All right, so here we go. So as we're heading up towards the facility here, you can see there's a lot of new buildings. We have high bays 1 and 2. High bay 1 is on the left, or rather in the middle of the 3 buildings you're looking at. High bay 2 is on the right. High bay 1 is where the boosters are stacked and assembled. High bay 2 is where the orbiters, the Starship, is assembled. And then directly ahead of you with the SpaceX insignia on it, you can see the headquarters facility and the manufacturing facility. It's replaced all of these temporary tent-like buildings that were here for years. Now we have a much more impressive and frankly gigantic facility that is now here at in Boca Chica, Texas. Obviously, there's been a huge amount of effort that's been made to expand the capabilities, the manufacturing capabilities of Starship here, and also, of course, a lot of the staff from California, true to what Elon said, has been moved out of California and is now here in Texas. So a lot of those staff are also being located here in this area. The old Stargate building has been here for quite some time. That's kind of more the visitor center where people can check in, although it's not necessarily all that easy to become a visitor. Am I still allowed to turn right here or not?
No.
Yeah. So we can't get access to the rocket garden the way we used to, unfortunately. That's a sad thing. It used to be that we could get to the rocket garden where a lot of the retired vehicles were placed. That is no longer the case, unfortunately. So yeah, definitely. And it seems that my navigation system is still operating on the cell phone. Isn't that annoying? But in any event, here we go. We've gone past the Starbase facility. Now we are going to get ourselves turned around and we are going to head toward the launch pad where we're going to spend a longer period of time simply because you are allowed to park there a lot easier.
Hey, George,
Yes.
the no trespassing signs are not up at the road, the rocket garden, so maybe they will let you go.
I'm seeing a stop sign there, though, when I went by. And security, I'm pretty sure we're not going to be allowed to go through. We'll go ahead and check just to be 100% certain. We're gonna take one more look to make sure that we can't go to the rocket garden. My suspicion is it used to be that it was a public road where you had access, but it just wasn't necessarily a very safe thing to have to give people such easy access to sensitive technology and sensitive vehicles, because some of the vehicles there were actually being assembled. Yeah, you've got to stop there. They're not going to let you get through. It used to be that you could get to the rocket garden and just park right by those things. It was amazing, the ability to park by some of the retired starships, some of the test vehicles, including things like SN-15, although SN-15 has been scrapped at this point, I believe, which is very unfortunate. SN-15, I think, was an historic vehicle simply because of the fact that it was the only one to successfully land, at least the only orbiter to successfully land. Of course, as we all know, we have a booster that's successfully been captured, but in terms of a vehicle actually landing on landing legs, SN-15 was the only one to successfully do that. So what we're doing, as I mentioned before, at this point, is we are heading towards the launch pad at this point. By the way, the roads have improved in quality dramatically as well. I mean, in a big way. Used to be that these things were absolutely chock full of potholes, but a huge effort has been made to improve the quality of the roads out here. And now we can see something quite astonishing at this point. It is quite amazing to see both towers in all their glory here. Truly, truly amazing indeed. Just one second. Truly amazing to see both of these. Truly amazing to see both of these towers. Very impressive indeed to see them here. Just so you know, the wind isn't on that; it's on this, so we're good, I think, for volume, but we don't, it's fine now. And as you can see also, or you may be able to see directly ahead, the hopper has been moved from its original position. Go ahead, Aaron, sorry. We're going to try, go ahead and try to zoom that. It's a bit difficult to control it. Yeah, it's a little challenging to control the zoom on this thing. As soon as we get stopped, I may be able to do it. Just bear with me here while we get into position. And we're getting closer and closer all the time. By the way, we can shoot out the window too here in a second. And you'll be able to see we're going to slow down because there's nobody behind us We're going to go ahead and slow down, and you can get a good look at these towers as we pass them by. Truly astonishing, both the tower under construction, which may serve as a catch tower in the future, and then the primary OLM. Very, very impressive indeed. Again, nobody behind us right now, so we're going to take this rather slow. But this facility has changed so dramatically. It used to be that you could see the tank farm right in front of you in operation, venting all the time. Now we have a wall in place here that kind of cuts off your. Also, there's so much in the way of tank facilities in place now that simply weren't there before. It is astonishing how much has been added and how much has changed. And by the way, just out here at this facility, there was a huge amount of activity, and it was a little disconcerting, actually. We pretty much had a traffic jam. I'm going to see if I can find a place to get pulled over here. We pretty much had a traffic while all of these tanker trucks. Go ahead, I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, good. Pulled over here. All right, so there we are, and we've pulled over, and we have a nice view at this point from our current location. I'll go ahead and check the chat to see if we have any questions here. Yeah, very, very impressive that we have this the opportunity to see this up close and personal right here from the side of the road. And as I mentioned before, in some ways this can be a little disconcerting sometimes, because right in front of you, as you can see, there's a lot of trucks that have been handling the refueling process, or just been tanking up the rocket, shall we say. And some of this has been taking place right in the middle of massive traffic jams. Now, some of the tanks are not filled with anything particularly dangerous, such as liquid helium, but yesterday I saw lots and lots of liquid oxygen being pumped into this facility, with enormous amounts of activity taking place all at the same time. Very, very disconcerting indeed to have all of that happening all the time. So bear with me for just a moment. Tell Elon I want off this rock. The launch is not tomorrow. The launch has been rescheduled to Tuesday. I'll tell you what, we're going to go ahead and, oh, thank you, John. Really appreciate the tenor. Pardon? It is tomorrow. Okay. Okay, it is tomorrow. How about that? Sorry, guys. I get my days confused sometimes after I've traveled too much. So tomorrow around 4 p.m. Eastern, I believe, 3 p.m. Central, I believe, is when it's roughly officially supposed to be taking place. So we're going to go ahead. I think we're going to try to leave the vehicle and see if we can take a bit of a stroll around and show you things from a different perspective real quick. So bear with me for just a moment here. I'm going to pull up as soon as this vehicle goes by, and then we'll take it from there. Looks like that gimbal is more of a problem for you than anything else. Let's go ahead and just we're going to go ahead and get the oh doggone it, maybe not. Hang on just one second. Bear with me. Okay, guys, we're going to go ahead and get reparked here real quick, and then we'll try to move around a bit. So I can't see back there. Clear? I think we are. All right, getting parked. I don't know exactly how long we're going to be able to stay outside the vehicle, but let's go ahead and give this a shot, shall we? All right. I'm going to hand off my microphone to the cameraman while we get out. Go. All right, guys, I don't know how well you can hear me at this point, but here we are. So we're going to go ahead and head over to a little pathway here. Try not to get run over in the process. Yesterday, there was just a massive, massive crowd of people here. It was just like a block party. And a block party in the middle of a refueling process. Again, I'm going to show you, I was able to get all that on camera last night. I'm going to show you the details of it because it seemed a bit disconcerting to me. Also, there was a lot of just flat out disregard for private property. People, you're going to see where the property line officially starts, those little black signs out there. And people were just wandering across that property line constantly. Some of the folks who are more familiar with the area were shouting at them, telling them to not do it. But my philosophy was leave it to SpaceX security. And security didn't seem to be aware. So we had people getting uncomfortably close to all of that stuff, some of it being filled with flammable liquids. So it just kind of, I don't know. Once again, I may be overreacting here, but I really get the impression that given where this facility is located, it does provide access to the general public that's a little too close for comfort, in my opinion. It's really, really close. I'm not sure how bad is the wind, everybody. Okay, do we?
It seems okay-ish YouTube side compared to the Discord side. It's feeling it a little bit more.
Okay, so currently we're all right on the signal, or do you think we need to not do this?
Signals okay-ish. Yeah, I mean, there is fuzzy points.
Okay. All right. Well, what we're doing at this point, and just so you know, even Starlink encounters issues out here because there are lots and lots of people on Starlink, as you can imagine, loads of Starlink customers. And so what happens is all of them crush the network, especially if it's something exciting taking place at the same time. So even people who are on Starlinks sometimes encounter serious lag and other issues while they're filming these events. Again, the view here of the rocket, if we can get that, is just mind-boggling. It just blows my mind to see this in person here. This rocket is utterly massive, well higher than a 30-story building. And again, I've never seen the full stack up close and personal. Every time I've arrived here in the past, It's always been right before the launch took place. I would barely get out here before the full stack would take off. It was always so frustrating to just, get here barely in time and never actually see the full stack. And now, for once, we get to see it. You and I get to see this, and it's quite amazing indeed. Excellent. So we're hearing so according to the chat, the microphone quality is very good. I'm so happy because of you guys' support. I was able to buy a new microphone in Colorado Springs and at an old sound shop that has been there for half a century. And they have really good quality stuff there. And sure enough, they recommended this. And so far, I've been recording most of my videos on this. And it's really fantastic to hear that it is generally dealing with this wind without any significant problems. That is very, very good news because I've never really been able to do that before. I've always struggled out here. So you can see from this perspective here now, we have the OLM and then the second tower in the background. And then way off in the distance, we have Starbase. And Starbase, we have 3 bays out there now. On your far left, you have the high bay, which is the old original bay that was used for stacking. That is apparently going to be torn down soon. In the middle, you have High Bay 1, which is for the boosters. And on the far right, you have High Bay 2. It's something we pointed out at the beginning of the video while we were doing our tour. But for those of you just joining us, that's what those buildings are. And if you check this, the recording out later on, you'll be able to see those buildings much more up close and personal. The construction that's taken place here has been truly astonishing, the amount of progress that's been made at this facility. But so many things have changed in terms of location, in terms of the buildings that have been put up. It's really, really amazing. So we're continuing to follow, as you can see. We have these private property signs here. We try to do our best to follow the property line that SpaceX has here. But as I mentioned before, yesterday during that block party, essentially is what it was, there was a lot of complete disregard for private property. And again, I didn't see a whole lot of activity from SpaceX security. But at the same time, I can see why. Because they were carrying out all this refueling at all of these tankers out there, some of which were carrying flammable liquid, with loads of vehicles, impeding and disrupting their work, disrupting the process. Very, very disconcerting to see all that happen. You would think that SpaceX would close the road for those sorts of things, but unfortunately, because of the PEA, because of the agreement that was made with the FAA to get this testing process going, SpaceX can only close this road so often. They're not permitted to close the road that frequently. And every time they do, it counts against them. It's something that can be used against them in court by the environmental agencies who are trying to get things shut down here. The more frequently you close the road, the worse it gets in court. Now, this may change. In fact, I suspect it almost definitely will change with the amount of influence that Elon now possesses in the government. Unless, of course, we have a clash of egos between Trump and Elon, which could happen, in which case his influence may go away. But I think it's reasonable to expect that things are going to change in regards to frequency of road closures, frequency of testing, frequency of launches, and it may even be possible for it may. Go ahead. Yes, cameraman.
Had chunks that you walked past a couple of times already.
IFT1. Oh, you mean debris?
Look at those chunks of IFT1 pad.
Yep. We'll keep our eyes open for that if we can find some. Yeah, we'll keep our eyes open for pad debris. Some of it still remains out here from the first launch. Of course, all of you remember the ill-advised launch that did not have a deluge system, or at least not a very good deluge system.
We could do that as a super check. Give it away to a random user in the chat.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to we are going to possibly, we can keep our eyes open here and possibly have another potential bonus if we can reach our super chat goal. But again, only if I'm sure that we have it. Looking around for it's tough to find any debris from IFT1 these days, although apparently we have passed it. But I think the debris that we passed is on SpaceX property. Up. Yeah, we got it. Okay, camera feed is back. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, let's show it again. All right. So yeah, here's, as long as you live in North America or in Europe, I will give away this piece if we can hit that 10 super chat goal. We're halfway there already. Thank you, BJ. If we can hit that 10 super chat target, I will give away that chunk of the pad that you just saw to a random viewer. So as long as you're in North America or in Europe, where I can reasonably mail it without it costing a couple $100. So if you're interested in that, we need to get to that. We're already halfway there. Need to get to that 10 super chat goal. So we'll see. We shall see. All right. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry.
The wind's blowing.
Yeah, tell me about it. We have lots. Okay, so now we are getting to a point to where we are significantly closer to the pad because the property line. Oh, wow. 20 quid from Digital Voodoo. Yes. Yep. The Digital Voodoo, by the way, guys, most of the music you've been hearing lately on my channel, almost all of it, was composed by the individual who threw down that 20 quid. Thank you so much, Digital Voodoo. Yep. Subscribe. It's pinned at the top of the chat. His site is pinned at the top of the chat. Subscribe to Digital Voodoo. He's so talented. Not only that, has donated his music to the channel. So here we are. We're getting out to the edge of the property line, and it is astonishing here. This is the closest I have ever been to a full stack. My God. It's making my head spin. I cannot begin to explain how impressive this is. It just...
Audio problems won't be the same on the YouTube stream, so if you are having difficulty here on Discord, please refer to the YouTube stream to fix those audio problems.
Another fantastic super chat from Will Robinson. Thank you so much for the $20. We are 7 out of 10, only 3 to go. And then we will give up. There's another one. Thank you so much. There's a lot of glare. Astro Surveyor, thank you so much for your support. 2 super chats to go, and then we'll be giving away a fragment of the Launchpad from IFT1, a fragment of this concrete that we happen to find out here. So we'll be happy to give it away once again, as long as you're in North America or in Europe, where I can reasonably mail it. Unfortunately, if you're way out in Asia, it gets ridiculously expensive to send it out there, and I apologize for that. Really wish it wasn't that way, but it is. But still, if you're in that area, then you're eligible. So hopefully it's something we can announce here on the stream. We got 2 more super chats to go. And by the way, you can chat as little as $1 to get us there. So, all right, all that having been said, you can see the heat shield doesn't look any different from the way it's been in the past, but at the same time, that is misleading, because the heat shield, as most of us probably know, has an ablative layer of an ablative heat shield underneath the tiles to provide additional protection. My God, this thing is just mind-boggling. This thing is massive. Sorry, I don't know what else to say besides that. It is just nothing I can say can do credit to how utterly colossal this rocket is. It is such a monster. And again, far, far bigger than Saturn V, an SLS, and anything else that has ever flown to space. We're standing right next to it. And again, if all goes well, this vehicle will go about halfway around the Earth and then perform a soft landing in the Indian Ocean like the others, although there's going to be some changes. For example, we have a refiring of the Raptors that'll take place in orbit. The refiring, of course, is going to be necessary in order to perform maneuvers in order to Opus. $2 super chat. Thank you. We only need 1 more. We're down to 1 more, and then we'll be giving away.
Random number generator.
Mm-hmm.
Generate a number, and then the first user to guess that number will be our winning user.
Fantastic. So here's the deal. If we can get to that 10, then we're going to generate a random number. The first viewer to guess the number gets the fragment. So that's what my producer has said. We just need 1 more super chat to get to that goal. So pretty fantastic, guys. Really appreciate your support today, by the way. It makes these kinds of journeys possible. Frankly, I wouldn't be able to come here at all if it wasn't for support from folks like you. So thank you so much for all of this. My God, this thing is incredible. We're going to try to get a little bit closer. 10th super chat just came down. 10th super chat just came down. And an 11th for that matter. Thank you, BJ Torrent. Thank you, guys. Really, really appreciate it. So here we are. This fragment here, our producer is going to go ahead and do a random number generator.
Send that number to you so you can see that that's officially just generated.
Okay.
16:38 UK time just now.
Right.
The numbers there in your messages. I'm not going to say that out loud because obviously we have.
Well, yeah, and unfortunately I can't see it because I can't get away from what I'm seeing on my phone. So what? It's a number between what and what, producer?
1 and 1,000.
A number between 1 and 1,000. Whoever either gets the number or gets closest to it before the end of the broadcast will be the winner of the fragment. We have guesses coming in across the board. We have 98 and 84 and 14, 94, 975. People are guessing left and right. 32, 337. Once again, guys, really appreciate you getting me to this super chat goal. You guys are awesome. 385, 789. Oh, they're just coming across. They're going like crazy right now. Okay, it's between 1 and 1,000. So 1343 won't work, but between 1 and 1,000. Oh my God, the guesses are just streaming through. People are crazily going after this number. So I don't think we have a winner yet, though. I don't think we have a winner. Yep. Our producer is watching these numbers with an eagle eye to see whether or not. I'll tell you, we have so many guesses coming across.
Body Rumble was close.
We had one that just came really close, but nope, no cigar yet. No cigar yet. Okay, here we go. Oh my God, this is crazy. What an idea we had, producer. I'll tell you, people are throwing the guesses across. We have over 300 people watching, so we can understand why we have people so eagerly throwing these guesses in. Producers watching these numbers with an eagle eye, waiting to see if we can, I tell you, between 1 and 1,000, that's a tough one. But at the same time, can understand why we want that in order to minimize the chance that we're just going to give it away quickly right off the bat. Want to make this tough. So we are definitely okay. It's crazy how many these, I'll tell you, it's streaming across. It's nuts. This is one of the craziest things that's ever happened on this channel. I don't know how you're keeping up with all these guesses, producer. It is just zooming by with great difficulty. So here's the fragment that's going to be given away here shortly. As soon as we are getting guesses that are so incredibly close. Producer, do we want to try to narrow it down since some folks have gotten close? Like between something and something? Producer's thinking about it. Because we do have folks.
It's not possible. There's enough people here that all take it two guesses.
Oh yeah, everybody I'm sure is guessing over and over and again. But the point is, who is going to get the right number? Between 1 and 1,000 is a difficult thing to do. And by the way, it was a
pick a random user, so nobody seems to be getting.
All right. Well, or just let's do it between something and something. Let's tell them that it's a number between
2 and 300.
All right. So the number is between 2 and 300, guys. To narrow it down for you, let's make it. Oh wait. Someone get it? Did someone get it?
Jill just got it.
Jill?
Gary Pio.
Okay, great. Gary Peel, is that correct? All right, so we're gonna message you, Gary. You got it. You guessed the number. Unbelievable. 1 out of 1,000. Boy, people just threw their guesses in, wildly trying to get this fragment. So once again, Gary, we're going to message you directly, and we're going to make sure to get your address information and get this fragment shipped to you. If you're in North America, I will ship it before I leave for Europe. If you're in Europe, I'm going to take it with me back to London and then ship it to you there. One way or the other, we'll get it to you soon.
So I'm going to award now about 5 random users.
5 random users are now getting Discord memberships as well. 5. This is what happens when we hit our goals, guys. Good stuff. We're giving away. So 5 Discord memberships / Patreon memberships.
First 5 people to click.
First 5 people to click. Is that right?
We'll get access. Oh, done.
All right, so we got it.
Yeah.
We have our 5 winners, and we'll be messaging you as well and giving you your login information.
The access is based on random users that click that link I've just posted in the chat.
Oh, okay. So all they had to do was just be the first 5 to click the link, and you get access. So 5.
Got Lord 14 as our second user.
Lord 14 is the second. Who's the first?
Third user. Starhopper is our 4th user. One more. There we go. That's 5. Inoculum is our 5th user. That's 5 new members to our Discord server.
Fantastic, folks. Really, really appreciate it. You heard it from our awesome producer, another space nut in Yorkshire. We've given away a fragment of Starbase, a fragment of the OLM from the first launch, and we have given away 5 Discord memberships. You guys are fantastic. Really, really appreciate it. We're going to walk around just a little bit more here. And once again, make sure that it's hard to tell exactly where the private property line begins. We obviously don't want to trespass here, but wow. I never get sick of looking at this. Of course, this is the first time seeing the full stack. I've seen the booster on the OLM a number of times in the past, but I've never actually seen the full stack up close and personal. I've seen the full stack fly. I saw that happen for the first launch and the third, but I have never actually, I apologize, the second. Oh, wait a minute. No, it was the third. I was here for the third. And, but yeah, and I've never seen the booster return either. Oh, and thank you very much. Lars, thank you so much for your €5. 5 winners means another €5. Thank you so much, Lars. Really appreciate your generosity. Thank you so much. We're going to stroll around just a little bit more before we go offline today. We've really come a long way in a short time today. What we did is we checked out Starbase and all the new buildings that have been added there. We drove by that. If you haven't seen that, don't worry, all of this is going to be recorded, so you'll be able to check that out. The the original high bay, and then the bays 1 and 2 for the boosters and orbiters, and then of course the new headquarters facility as well. So you'll be able to see all of that from the beginning of this broadcast. Yeah. All right, let's go. There are folks coming in late who want to see Starship, and I totally agree. That's a much better thing to see than me. Absolutely. I have never been this close. Well, I've never seen a full stack up close and personal, period. But this is remarkably close. I've been here before after the first flight, after there's so much debris ended up in this area. But yeah, this is just mind-boggling to be right here. And again, this thing will be flying in just over 24 hours. Amazing. Just amazing. We'll go ahead and get you another. I think we have to go this way to avoid being on the property line. Watch out for that. All right. Go ahead and make our way back a bit again so that everybody can get a couple other views of it. The folks who joined late, so you can see Starship from a variety of different perspectives, not just the one we just showed you. And I'll tell you once again, I want to thank the incredible generosity of the viewers who got us to our 10 super chat target. And we gave away a fragment of the launch facility from the first launch that spread so much debris over this area. And we gave away 5 Discord/Patreon memberships to our incredible viewers today in exchange for getting us to that super chat goal. And again, it's because of that kind of support. It's that kind of support that gets me to places like this, that makes trips not only like this possible, but also up to Shetland, to the Saxavord spaceport, also to Cape Canaveral, where I have more press access than I've ever had before. So much access there. And again, you guys make all of that possible with your support. Appreciate it. Let's go ahead and get another shot. I think this is just a similar angle, though, just from further away. Again, we can now see the second tower that is nearing completion. Still going to be a while before it's ready to go. But we have the second tower still under construction. This place is looking more and more like Elon's vision of a spaceport every day. It's, instead of looking like, a tank farm and a launch site out in the middle of nowhere, it looks much more like a robust, sophisticated facility with a very sizable, monumental, actually, manufacturing facility. 3 bays for stacking, although, as I mentioned before, one of those are probably coming down, and 2 towers. It's truly remarkable indeed. I'll tell you, and so grateful, by the way, to one viewer in particular. You know who you are, who really made all this possible with a lot of frequent flyer miles and a lot of Marriott Envoy points that reduced the expense of coming out here considerably. Made a big difference. Of course, still wouldn't have happened without your help. Still wouldn't have been enough, but nevertheless, without that, it definitely wouldn't have happened. So yeah, very, very grateful on a lot of levels. All right, we're going to give you another perspective. As a matter of fact, you know what? We may walk down the length of the launch facility for you before we end the broadcast, considering things have been going pretty well. And we'll give you a couple more perspective shots of the launch tower and Starship. Truly, truly amazing. And again, this is not the full extent of it. Very soon, we're going to have even bigger starships flying. Larger, capable of carrying more propellant, more oxidizer, larger boosters, larger everything, in order to accomplish the payload goals that Elon had in mind for this rocket from the beginning. Because currently, does not appear that Raptor 2 and its current setup can do that 100 tons yet. So I think we're going to need a bigger Starship with a more advanced Raptor, in other words, Raptor 3. All of us have seen how remarkable that engine appears, how elegantly simple, and yet at the same time, incredibly powerful that engine is. So again, we'll give you another perspective shot of Starship and the second tower. And everything, again, fairly close to each other. We can see all the buildings of Starbase and the manufacturing facility off in the distance, although the test facility, the Massey's test facility, is not visible from here. Just barely on the horizon. Probably something you couldn't see on this broadcast. But that has had a lot of changes, a lot of advancements as well. All right. Again, we are following the property line, the SpaceX property line, respecting that. As I mentioned a number of times during this broadcast, that's something that wasn't really happening during that block party last night, sadly. And again, I have a piece of content I'm going to release today where I'm going to show you what I filmed last night, the chaos that I saw as all of these hardworking drivers and technicians, facility personnel were trying to pump these very dangerous supercooled liquids in the middle of a traffic jam, with it being very difficult for them to maneuver because so many vehicles were in the way. It was a little unsettling to see just how many people were being allowed so ridiculously close in the middle of a process that involves so much in the way of hazardous liquids, hazardous fuels. Again, we'll give you another shot here for those of you who are just arriving. We want to keep showing you this rocket and the facility from as many different perspectives as we possibly can during this broadcast. You guys have been generous today with your super chats. We have a large crowd as well. So we want to make sure that you folks are well taken care of. All right. Yeah, why not? We're going to go ahead and walk just a bit down the length. Oh, you know what? We'll do something else as well. We're going to take you over to Starhopper, because Starhopper used to be behind a wall on the launch facility itself. No longer. It's pretty much right by the road. So it's very interesting to see that the first test vehicle utilizing Raptor seems like a million years ago, and yet less than 5. Quite astonishing to think of that, to think of the amazing progress through this iterative design philosophy that SpaceX has. It really, really demonstrates how effective this philosophy is, how well it works. Again, does it work for everything? Is it, everyone's solution? Not necessarily. I mean, Rocket Lab has achieved a lot of success without using this design philosophy. They've done things a little differently. They still design very swiftly. They engineer very swiftly, but they don't quite do it this way. And and yet, as we have heard, for those of you who are familiar with Rocket Lab, on their third quarter earnings, they did ridiculously well. Their earnings were way better than is expected, and their stock is triple what it was a few weeks ago. So it's not just SpaceX that's benefiting from this current environment, this current climate of private launch providers. And not only that, it's not just about rockets. It's not just about launch. It's also about the additional space technology that's being designed by these various companies. For example, 70% of Rocket Lab's revenue did not come from launch. It came rather from the spacecraft that they've designed. They have spacecraft, multiple spacecraft, some of which have already launched, that are designed to fly on SpaceX rockets, on Blue Origin rockets. So that philosophy changes things dramatically as well. And it is companies that can do that, who innovate on every different type of technology associated with aerospace and space flight, not just restricting themselves on being the cheapest ride to orbit. Instead of trying to do that, they are diversifying. Look at this, guys. Again, it was right here where we had a huge traffic jam along this whole stretch. And these folks last night, it wasn't just liquid nitrogen, which isn't all that dangerous. There was a lot of liquid oxygen out here being pumped as well. And it was very disconcerting given the amount of disruption and the struggling they had to do just to try to get their job done. And once again, the police were out here in force. Not much they can do. This is a public highway, and on this side of the road, it's public land. None of this belongs to SpaceX. So it is challenging to try to control the safety considerations for a facility like this. All right. We are going to end our broadcast when we get to Hopper up here. We can see it. Oh, wow. We just got a super chat. Want to thank, let's see, who did that come in from? Rodney, thank you so much for your $10, New Zealand. Really, really appreciate the support that's been coming in today. You guys are awesome. All right. Again, you can hear the hissing of the venting tanks out here. The tank farm that's expanded in its operations considerably. There's been so much building, so many new things that have been added to this facility since I was here a year ago. It's truly mind-boggling to see how much progress gets made in such a short time, as long as you're willing to put the effort into it and the money. But, you know, I saw similar progress out at Saxavord. That was quite amazing as well. At Saxavord, we went from a few concrete pads in the middle of the rain to a completed launch tower and a completed integration facility. So this kind of progress is happening all over the globe, not just here. And again, that should excite every spaceflight enthusiast to see this kind of progress and this kind of dramatic evolution of this industry happening right in front of our noses right now. Yeah, that's an interesting view there. And you can see tanks being added everywhere, but so many things moving as well. So again, we will end our broadcast here at the once we reach Hopper, which we're getting quite close to at this point. And again, that was, I remember watching that happen. That was even before I had started my channel. And when Hopper flew with that one Raptor engine and successfully did a pad-to-pad transfer that way, I think a lot of us knew that something very special was evolving here at Boca Chica. Although I think there were a lot of other people who really questioned how quickly it was all going to happen, how ambitious Elon was being, and whether or not that ambition was actually going to be fulfilled. Well, it didn't happen as fast as he said it was going to, but at the same time, it is happening. And happening at a rate of speed and a success level that I think few imagined possible, except perhaps for Elon himself. That's just the kind of guy he is. Closing in on Hopper. And where it all began, I suppose that's an apropos place for us to end our broadcast. Can't quite get right up on it. I believe that that area is restricted, but still you can get pretty close. So once again, I want to Thank everybody for joining us here today. Those who participated in our super chat target, congratulations to the folks who won.
Redirected to have a launch stream tomorrow after this live event. Once it closes, they should automatically be redirected to hit the bell notification for tomorrow's launch.
Once this closes, just so you know, you will be redirected to a hit the bell notification for tomorrow's launch because we're broadcasting that. You'll have an opportunity to just hit your notification bells on that, so you will be notified as to when we're going live. And I'm going to have quite a good seat, one of the best seats in the house at the Margarita Hotel, where another one of my generous viewers is allowing me to film in relative comfort, which is something I seldom do at these kinds of launches. Here we are again. As I said before, this thing is way bigger than you think it might be, given how tiny it looks on your television screen compared to these massive rockets. But this thing's enormous. And the fact that they made this thing fly with a single Raptor with such an incredible amount of stability, and to bring it down successfully on their first try, that alone should have been a strong indication of what was to come. And even though some may call me a naysayer, given the amount of things that I have said about Starship and the timelines that I've put forward, one thing is certain, and one thing I want to be clear on. This program is going to succeed. Starship is going to succeed. Starship will revolutionize the future of spaceflight and transport us across the solar system. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Please consider supporting this channel on Patreon and PayPal. All the details in the description. And until tomorrow, stay angry about space.